Hello world and welcome to the first and hopefully not the last Novasol Spray UK Facebook Live. In a moment I'm going to be making over this chair, what is it? Table, that's what it is, using our unique spray chalk paint. But before I do that, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Claire and I am a creative broadcaster and creative blogger, but also I'm a Pinty Plusser, which means that I'm one of a team of ambassadors who work with Pinty Plus to promote their fantastic spray chalk paint. So I picked this up in my local charity shop just to show you what it's like. It's a kind of side table and it's made of wicker and a little bit of cane going on. And I picked this for a good reason, which is that if you have ever chosen to paint a wicker surface with a brush, it is a nightmare to do because all the paint sort of pools in the little gaps and you end up with blobs all over the place. So doing it with a spray is way easier. So I'm going to crack on with that and then I will talk to you about the paints while it's drying. So let's pick our colour. I'm going to go this time for white because white is actually our best selling colour. And this is a fantastic little gadget, which is a spray gun. You don't need to have this, but believe me, when you try it, you won't want to go back because it's brilliant. Oh, and word of warning, when you're doing this, make sure it's clean. So this is something that I picked up, as I say, from a charity shop, and just literally give it a go over with the duster. And make sure there are no cobwebs, no dust bunnies. There's one right there. I don't know if I can show you that. There's a little dust bunny in the corner. We'll get rid of that because then that will just covered in paint. So the whole thing is as clean as it can be for a little vintage piece. And what you need to do, give the can a shake. There you go. And then you get that distinct spray paint noise going on. The advice is to shake it for a minute, but actually we have this can already open because this is one of the ones we use as a demonstration can. So I know it's good to go. Let's get spraying. Okay, so the first layer that you put on is really just a light covering that you need to add. So you're not looking for total coverage, and you can see the distance that I'm spraying from. Hopefully I won't get the camera as well. And you move your arm around across the surface and you can see already there's a big change in what this looks like, which is lovely to see. Okay. Now our chalk paint is water-based, which means that there's no toxic fumes. We are actually doing this indoors at the moment in our barn in rural Hampshire, and I don't know if you can hear, but it's pouring with rain. And if the boss is listening, I know at the moment he's somewhere much warmer. So it's pouring with rain here in Hampshire, and you can also hear the birds tweeting if you can hear that much. Now, if you're watching this broadcast, one of the things I would love to know, if you can comment, is to tell us whether you have ever used chalk paint before. Not our chalk paint, just any chalk paint. If you've used it and you've done a makeover with it, let us know. Leave it in the comments below and let us know what you've sprayed, or what you painted with a brush with chalk paint. First thing I ever did with chalk paint was a wardrobe for my son's room. And then the first thing I ever did with spray chalk paint was, funnily enough, wicker, because wicker is so good to do. So what I'm going to do, I've given that a light coverage. It's very easy to get overexcited and just carry on spraying, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to leave that and let that dry. Now, 20 minutes is the advised amount of time for this to dry, and we did Country Living show a couple of weeks ago, and I did workshops there which were 40 minutes long, and we were spray painting the bunting that you can see behind. We didn't have 20 minutes to let stuff dry, so we went literally for about 5 or 10 minutes between coats, and it was absolutely fine. So we're just going to leave that light mist coating that we put on there. There are obviously bits that are missing, that's entirely fine. Let that dry. And while that's drying, I want to tell you about some of the other colours that we have in the range, because we have an amazing selection of colours. So 18 colours, look at those. Fabulous colours. So we've got some good neutrals, and we've also got some lovely bright colours as well. So when we did the Country Living show, our biggest seller was this one, which is Stone. Now, you may notice the name on there is actually in Spanish. That is because Novasol Spray is a Spanish product, and Pinty Plus, which is the chalk paint we're using, is also Spanish. So the names on this particular sample are in Spanish, but we have them in English as well. They sell 6 million cans a year, Novasol Spray, in Spain, and it is a fantastic product. I've used it on all different types of surfaces, so it really is wonderful. So 18 different colours. Just to talk you through those, if you like the brighter colours, we found when we were talking to people at Country Living that the turquoise is an enormously popular colour. That's lovely. And there's also pale turquoise. And we have recently introduced a new red as well. So there are 2 reds, and I'll show you in a moment the other red. Oh, and I should say to you as well, if you're watching this broadcast, do hang on to the end, because, as I mentioned, the boss is away. So, because he's away, we've decided to do a discount. And hopefully I can remember what the discount code is. I think I can, but if someone in the office is watching and they want to scribble it down on a piece of paper and give it to me, that'd be brilliant. So discount code coming up towards the end of this. Right, I've left that for about 3 minutes. I'm going to apply a bit more to that. So here we go. If you're wondering, by the way, if you've tuned in halfway and you're wondering what this bit is, this is the spray gun, which you can buy as an extra. You do not need to have it. So if you're doing this for the first time and you think, oh, I've got to buy paint, I've got to buy a gun. No, you don't need to have it. It is purely something that if you get very into painting, which, believe me, there is a severe danger of doing, then you get this because it just makes it easier. Because instead of doing that action, you're doing that action. So, here we go. And the coverage from that is pretty good already. I find with these, depending on how light the paint is you're applying and also how dark the surface, you need between 2 and 3 coats, just light coats. Each can will give you 2 metres square of coverage, so that's something equivalent to a chair. Let's get that in there. Okay. I think that's my discount code coming. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but it'd be rubbish if I got it wrong. There we go. Thank you very much, Susie. Fantastic. Yeah, I thought it was that right. Okay, we'll keep that secret till the end. You've got to stay right till the end before you get the discount code. So, by the way, you can obviously buy our paints from our website, which is novasolspray.co.uk. And please do like us on our social channels. We will be very grateful. So you can like us on Facebook and you can like us on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. We share a lot of the projects that our ambassadors do on Instagram. So you see some amazing, inspiring upcycling ideas on Instagram as well. That is looking pretty good already. I'm just kind of doing that going around in circles thing, finding the bits I've missed. I have an amazing local charity shop near me. I'm very lucky, and this came from them. So a big shout out to St Wilfrid's, who are in Chichester. They are a brilliant hospice, and they have fantastic charity shops. They also have a great vintage shop in Chichester. Right, nearly done. As I say, it's a bit addictive, so it's very hard to know when to stop. But I've got coverage. Have I missed any bits? I don't think I have. Just to show you how we're done on that. There we go. So that really has transformed that piece very quickly. If you're wondering about where you do this, generally, not on a pouring wet day, but generally I do this outside in my garden. I've got a nice sheet that I do it on. And if you haven't got a garden, you can also do it sort of in a garage, or you can, of course, drape plastic sheeting around and do it inside your house as long as everything is covered. The first time I used spray paint, I had an utter nightmare with it. I sanded down a high chair that I was going to do for my son, and I went out to the local DIY store and I just randomly picked a can off the shelf. And I took it home and I thought, it can't be complicated to do, I'll just spray. And what happened is all the paint came out and it ran down the paintwork, and it was horrendous. And I thought, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing it in the wrong temperature? Am I doing it in the wrong location? Have I put too much on? What's going on? And what it came down to is that a lot of these cans do not have good nozzles on them. So if you've got a bad nozzle on a can, it will then gloop up and you'll get too much paint coming out and it will come out randomly and you won't get this lovely fine mist spray. So that is one of the really good things about this product, is the fact that you get a lovely even spray, even more so if you put the gun on top of it. But you can see that there's no running paint on that at all. It's brilliant. Now, finishing off wise, we have 3 different finishes that you can apply. So we have a spray matte varnish. Now, when you add that to something like this, it basically looks exactly like it does now. It's just a protective varnish which you can use if you're going to put something outside, or if it's going to have a lot of contact, or if you're doing a table and you're thinking that you want to put glasses on top of it, they're going to have wet bottoms and that kind of stuff. So that's a matte varnish, very good to use. We also have, as part of the art range for Pinty Plus, a gloss varnish. And that's amazing, because one of the things that often eludes people who use chalk paint is the gloss finish. And I've looked online and there are all sorts of complicated tutorials about how you can get a gloss finish. All you need is a can of this and then you will get a proper gloss finish on it. Or we have, and this is a bit that gets people really excited, a spray wax. So this is literally like all the waxes that you will have encountered for chalk paint, but it's in a can. And you just apply this lightly over the top. So, any suggestions? Do anyone who's watching today have a particular preference which one I go for? I'm just looking at seeing if anyone's going to give a suggestion. Thank you very much to Caroline, by the way, who's watching, who I know has used this product before, and she says it's so quick and easy. Her and her mum use this an awful lot. If you've used the product at all and you want to talk about it, then please do. Wax, please. Okay, so Caroline wants wax. Yep, Gordon wants wax. Hello, Gordon, watching. Ah, okay, right. So, wax, here we go. Right, here comes the wax. I know this is very exciting because I know that Gordon probably hasn't seen the wax. Caroline might not have either. Let's go. So, it comes out, I mean, you think of wax as being gloopy, but it's so not. So it's coming out as a very fine mist. Okay. And this you only need 1 coat of. So when you're doing multiple projects, you generally buy a can of paint, and you buy a can of paint, and one of those will cover your 2 metres. And you buy one of these, and this will do you for sort of 3 projects. So if you're doing 3 chairs, you'll buy 3 cans of paint, and you'll buy just one of these. Okay, as I say, the spraying addiction is setting in. I'm talking too much, so I'm not actually thinking about what I'm spraying. I'm just getting overexcited with the spraying. Are there any bits I've missed? I don't know. Gordon and Caroline, are you enjoying this so far, please? Could you comment and let me know? Give me some hope. Hello also, by the way, to our fantastic team in Spain, who I believe are watching. They are the incredibly brilliant people who came up with this product and who introduced us to it. So there we go, we're done. Now, I can't see duration on how long that took, but hang on, let me go on my watch. That was under 20 minutes. So there you go. A whole finished thing and a whole lot of waffling as well. And I will now tell you your discount code. So if you head to novosolspray.co.uk and you use FB Live 20. Can you see that on there? Fantastic. So head to Novasol Spray. That discount code is valid until tomorrow night. So FB Live 20, head over there, buy yourself some paint. As I say, the white is our biggest seller, and also the stone, if you want to give it a go, was the one that was really popular at Country Living. So if you're into that whole country living vibe, give it a go. Right, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will be very excited if we get some good viewingship, and hopefully we'll be able to do this again. Thanks for watching.